that today, but this is just a quick introduction to, I'll get a close-up of this in just a little bit. This is a wire snare. The advantages to this snare is it is a locking snare. It can be rolled up nice and tight little bundles, so you can carry about a half a dozen of these in your pack with no problem. The beauty of snares, once again, remember, they are passive. It's not like you having to stand and throw a rock. You can set out a half a dozen of them and come back the next morning to see what you find. So with that, I'm going to reset here and get you a close-up of how this is built. And like I said, this one's for you, Roro. Okay, I stepped back in the van, went back home. It's so windy outside. The wind noise, I know, was very distracting. So I'm going to explain this snare, how to make it, and how to use it, and the advantage of it. This snare is made with materials you can get at any good hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's basically a small piece of steel cable, a 1/4-20 fender washer. Now this is a big washer, about that big around, that we're going to take it. We're not worried about the inside center hole, but we're going to drill 2 small holes and feed a cable through it. And then these compression fittings, these swage fittings, are just use a hammer to close them up. What you want to do is you want to take your fender washer and bend it, or drill 2 small holes big enough that the cable moves freely through it. Okay, that's the trick. You want it to move really free through the holes, and you're just going to drill 2 holes, one on each side of the washer, kind of in the middle, so there's still plenty of metal. Once you've got your holes drilled, bend that washer into a 90-degree bend, just like that. See if I can get it up there for the camera to see. Then you're going to take your cable, and you're going to feed one end of your cable in from the outside of the bend to the middle, and crimp your fastener on the end so that it doesn't pull back through. And then you're going to take that cable and you're going to come over here and you're going to feed it through the inside to the outside. This is important because it helps it lock. Once you feed your cable through, make you a loop so that you've got some way of attaching the rope from your snare engine, whether that's a bent over green tree or a pulled down limb. But this makes it easy to attach your rope. Now, the beauty of this snare is it triggers and slides very, very quickly, very easy, and when it slides shut, it locks. When you see there, when you pull it, it tends to lock. And if the animal happens to have only a paw in it and they're struggling to get loose, every time they pull and move, it just gets tighter and tighter. If you're fortunate enough to actually get it around the animal's neck, then as it tries to get loose, it's going to continue to get tighter, and I think you might see it's cutting in a little bit right there. Your dinner may well be dispatched to the great beyond by the time you get there. The snare itself is very, very light. You can make up 5 or 6 of these, put them in a little baggie, put them in a little ditty bag, and throw them in the bottom of your backpack. The trigger mechanism, it can be any trigger of your choice, because this snare can be laid, come on, cooperate. The snare can be laid flat as a loop with a piece of bait in the middle, and the bait tied to a string on your twitch trigger. Or it can actually, you can drive 2 sticks and put it across a trail and have a trip that will set it off whenever the animal goes through it, and when it does, of course, it'll tighten up. And then once again, you don't have to worry about completely snatching the animal off the ground, because it's not going anywhere. I want to remind you that the beauty of snares and traps is they are passive. Like I said in the introduction, if you didn't get to understand it because of the wind noise, you can set out several of these and then go about other things that need to be done, like securing water, securing shelter, starting a fire. These things can all be working for you out in the woods while you're taking care of your other needs. Unlike hunting, where you've got to throw a rock or a spear at something, these can actually be gathering your food for you. That's about all I wanted to share. This was the one I was going to show rolling. this one's for you, buddy. Hope everybody got to see it, and until next time, thrive. Don't just survive.